Good morning. Okay, you guys, this is the third part of my video on how to cook plenty different dishes in the same time with only 2 hours of oven time. Okay, today, last night I only have three different meats. If I happen to have six different roast or ribs, I will place them in the same time. You know, my oven is kind of small, but I think it fit 6, 7, I don't know. Even if I have 10 ribs, I'll place them in the same time, okay? And then I can freeze the result. Because usually just one of these ribs in the bag, okay, takes about 2 hours cooking time, oven time. And the pot roast itself usually takes about 8 hours in the crock pot. One big pot roast like this, 8 hours of crock pot time, slow cooker crock pots time. But last night, all of these three delicious dinners is ready just by using 2 hours of oven time. And then when the 2 hours is done, turn off your stove, close your door, do not open it until the following morning. So here we are. This is morning now, 7 in the morning. And I'm going to take these things out to show it to you, okay? All right. First, I need to tell you a little bit about these ribs in the back. They're really delicious, okay? You just need to cut the back. I mean, it's already seasoned in there, so you don't have to do anything. Just place the bags in the oven, follow the instruction. And usually, although the instructions said 1 hour is enough, I usually need 2 hours to make them tender, just by itself, one bag. And they're puffy up like this, okay? And place the baking sheet under them, guys, because in case they are leaking like mine, and you will create a mess in your oven. They don't usually leak like this today, but sometimes it happens. And you just need to cut the bag open, and then or sometimes if they're not leaking, I just place the bag in the microwave before serving them. You can add Louisiana hot sauce or Tabasco sauce if you want to, okay? And they are now tender. I'm not going to cut them open right now because I should probably cut them open for you guys to see. Okay, guys, they're really come out from the bone. They're really, really tender. Okay, very, very tender and just right. Okay, you just need to place them in the microwave. Sometimes I found a little bit liquid under them to make more gravy, but otherwise add your own barbecue sauce. They actually taste really good without adding anything. Okay. And the second thing I placed in the oven last night was pot roast, a big 3 pounds of meat. Inside that, I just used this bread pan, dump a lot of potato in there, carrots, onion. Okay, so if you want, you can make a gravy. They produce some of this liquid down there. You can thicken them up later and to make gravy. And the other one I made last night was this traditional beef roast from Indonesia called rendang. Okay, the same thing with a lot of green beans on them, and they come out so fragrant, so good. Okay, usually I need 8 hours crock pot time just for this rendang, and 8 hours of crock pot times for just this pot roast. But by putting them together in the oven last night, total of 2 hours of oven cooking time, 1 hour at 350, 1 hour at 300. The first hour 350 to kill the surface bacteria if there are any, for example. And then turn off the stove, and I turn off my oven, lock the door, and let the rest of the heat working on them. Continue cooking them for at least 8 to 10 hours. And in the morning, you open your oven, you get plenty of these different meals ready. You can just separate them with Tupperware, keep them in your freezer for for tonight, for next week, for another week to come to eat. And again, I only have 3 different meats last night. Otherwise, I'll place 4 or 5 different meats to show it to you. Okay, they're really tender, guys. The meat, the beef is really tender, breaking apart, you know, and actually came out more delicious than using crockpot. Okay, I will thicken up the liquid from my rendang, because rendang is supposed to be dry, not wet like this. But it's just like the same thing like when you're using 8 hours of crockpot time. Okay, and you save energy. Okay, 8 hours plus 8 hours of this in a crockpot plus 2 hours of the ribs. You know, that's already what, 18 hours total of cooking energy. Crockpot takes a lot of energy. And I use my oven for only 2 hours, and just because I only have 3 meals, 3 different meats, I could only doing 3. But if I have like 6 ribs, I'll place 6 ribs. In the past, I placed a huge turkey for Thanksgiving plus the roast beef in there, and yams and everything, and doing the same thing, the same technique. Okay, 2 hours of oven time, and then about 8-10 hours of, you know, non oven times, you know, locked inside the LUAU technique. And they came out really deliciously tender. Okay, and do this. Cook many ribs, share it with your neighbor. And yes, I use raw ribs before too, not just the one in the bag. The raw ribs, which are on sale, I put the dry wraps and doing the same technique, you know, cover them up with aluminum foil in the pan without liquid, without water, and in the following morning they just came out deliciously tender and ready. And go ahead, put 6 different meals in there, you know, rendang, red chili beef, and beef stew, and I don't know, whatever you want in there that need to be tenderized. They will be tenderized in the morning just because of the leftover heat that from your cooking time. All right, guys, happy enjoying your beef stew and enjoying your whatever you cook in a practical way. Okay, have a good cooking day. Bye.